Where else can you find everything that you've been looking for?
Dear God, it's beautiful.
I'm moving clients all the time to the Metro Atlanta area who are trying to figure out which area would be best for them. Today we're going to answer all the questions I get about Milton so you can figure out whether or not this is the right place for you and if it's worth it. Let's get into it. Milton is located about a 40-minute drive north of Atlanta in Fulton County. You're gonna head up Georgia 400 and it's going to be in the space between 400 and 575, just north of Alpharetta, one of the Metro Atlanta's most popular suburbs, if not the most popular suburb. Milton has a completely different vibe compared to Alpharetta. Alpharetta feels suburban while Milton feels rural and spread out. The neighboring communities are going to be Alpharetta, Roswell, Woodstock, and Canton. If you live in Milton, you're probably not working in the city of Atlanta. The best scenarios are going to be either teleworking from home or commuting to an office in Alpharetta, which is right next door. Originally home to Native Americans, which is really how every city's origin begins around here. The land was allocated through land lotteries starting in 1805, and shortly after, small communities began popping up, mostly consisting of small farms, forests, and pretty sparsely populated areas. In 1857, Milton County was created, named after Revolutionary War hero John Milton. By 1861, secession tensions were growing in the state, with Milton residents opposing Georgia's pro-secession stance, though many still ended up serving in the Confederate Army. The early 20th century brought the introduction of the automobile and cars, meaning more people had access to Milton than before, though it continued to remain pretty rural. The area struggled heavily through the Great Depression and ultimately merged with Fulton County in 1932. For years, it maintained its rural character, even though Atlanta's population tripled between 1910 and 1960, and more infrastructure developed like Highway 9 and Highway 400, bringing in more residents and more development. In 2006, the city of Milton officially incorporated with tons of support from residents who wanted more local government and public services like police and fire departments, city hall, and public safety facilities. The city's population grew significantly with a 26% increase between 2010 and 2020. Today, you'll certainly find new construction and development, but there's still a pretty strong commitment to maintaining open spaces, larger properties, and a more small town feel. What makes Milton special and how it stands apart from the other areas around Atlanta is the large, beautiful homes and minimal development. Unlike most suburbs in the metro, Milton still has lots of open farmland and large properties. I mean, sometimes even like 10 acres or more, which is something you're just not going to find nearly as often as you find it here. It's also much more peaceful and quiet. Milton has a population of about 40,000 people, which is much smaller compared to Alpharetta's 65,000 or Marietta's 80,000. It's less crowded and far less commercially developed than pretty much all the other cities around. If you go watch my Johns Creek video, you'll know that it doesn't have a ton to offer, but even Milton makes Johns Creek look urban. And the homes here, goodness. We'll talk about real estate a little bit later, but if you're looking for a really nice house, Milton should be one of the first places that you look. By the way, if you need help buying or selling here or anywhere in the Metro Atlanta area, my name's Joel and I'm a local realtor here. I would love to help you out. My information is below in the description, or you'll see it here right at the bottom of the screen. Call, text, or email. I'm always happy just to answer questions or have a conversation. Not a ton, and it's just not what Milton is known for, and it's really not the point. If you added a bunch of things to do here, it would defeat the whole idea of what the city is going for. It wants to be quieter, it wants to be more spread out, and has worked hard to maintain that for almost 200 years at this point. That being said, there are a few things. Crabapple Market is kind of the city's town center and gathering place. There are some cool restaurants there like Old Blind Dog, The Nest, Lily's Sushi Bar just opened up there recently. There's a great green space with a stage where they host local events. If you were looking for something to do specifically in Milton, this would be the first place to go. The best things to do here are really the parks. They have a lot and do a great job maintaining them. Bell Memorial Park is mostly built for the kids' weekend ball game with its baseball and football fields, but it also has both paved walking paths as well as hikes through the trees. Birmingham Park has a great trail system. They're all pretty short. I think the longest one is about 1.5 miles, but you could string a bunch together and easily make an afternoon out of it. And they have equestrian trails, so you could bring your horse if that's your sort of thing. The Lakapani Preserve is a great place to hike. Providence Park, Mayfield Park, Freedom Park, there's a ton. As I've mentioned, the homes in Milton are fantastic. There are certainly nice homes in any of the cities around Atlanta, but pound for pound, Milton will have the most consistently fantastic homes. There are two main options: super high-end communities with exceptional amenities like a golf course, a guard on duty, a tennis instructor, etc. There will be communities like The Manor, White Columns, or Echelon. Or it will be beautiful homes on some acreage with no HOA. It's pretty standard in the area to have at least 1 acre, and it's not uncommon to find properties with 5, 10, even 20 acres. Median home price is $1.3 million. Can you find homes under $500K? Yep, there's one. I just checked, $485,000, and it's new construction too. Let me know if you're interested. Homes on the lower end will be around $800,000, and on the high end, you're talking 8, 9, 10 million. Even though Milton is pretty spacious and works hard to maintain that, they are still building. Of the 85 homes currently available, 25 of them are either new construction, under construction, or yet to be built. So if you want some land or a lot of land, no HOA, an elite HOA, something new or something established, we're ready for you here in Milton. If you have kids, one of the biggest benefits of living in Milton is the excellent schools. School districts in Georgia are separated by the county lines, which means Milton is part of the Fulton County School District, one of the top rated districts in the state, coming in at number 12 on niche.com. Fulton County is also a very weird shape, like suspiciously weird shape. It almost closes up right where you would expect, and then all of a sudden it opens up and travels all the way south of the city. If you just took the schools in that northern section where you would expect the boundaries to converge, I think Fulton County would be in the top 5, maybe top 3 counties in the state. You'll have 2 options for high schools in Milton. If you're on the west side, you're gonna be zoned for Milton High School, which gets an 8 out of 10 on greatschools.org and an A+ on niche.com, also ranking in the top 10 schools in the state. And if you're on the east side, you're gonna have Cambridge High School, which gets a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org and an A+ on niche.com. One of the biggest selling points for Milton is its safety. Milton consistently ranks as one of the safest cities in Georgia. Because it's relatively small, there's less likely a chance of crime here. According to neighborhoodscout.com, Milton is safer than the majority of cities, towns, and villages in America, and also has a lower crime rate than 66% of the communities in Georgia, according to Neighborhood Scout's analysis of FBI crime data. How risky is that? Your chance of becoming a victim in Milton is 1 in 137 based on the total crime rate. In America overall, your chance of becoming a victim of crime is 1 in 43. It is for these reasons that Milton is ranked as one of the top 100 safest cities in the USA. Compared to other communities of similar population size, Milton has a crime rate that is noticeably lower than the average. This means that for comparably sized cities all across America, Milton is actually actually safer than most, according to Neighborhood Scout's exclusive analysis of FBI crime data. As I always say, don't take my word for it. Don't try to sue me if you get robbed. I'm just citing third-party data. Do your own research. I don't want to go to real estate jail. Okay, Milton's cost of living. It's high. As I mentioned earlier, the average home price in Milton is around $1.3 million, making it the most expensive suburb in Metro Atlanta to buy a home. But honestly, it's to be expected. Everything is premium. The size, the lots, the finishes, the materials, the privacy, the location, the add-ons, the pool house, the sauna, the wine cellar, the amenities, the clubhouse, the golf course, the gym, the gate, the guard on duty. If your list for a home leaves nothing out, Milton is where you go. And you'll also find that property taxes are higher here than in many other areas. Milton is part of Fulton County, which has some of the highest property taxes in the state, where some other counties like Forsyth, Cobb, and Cherokee have a senior tax exemptions, where residents over the age of 62 don't have to pay school taxes. Fulton County does not have a senior exemption, or they technically do, but it's very small. So for example, if your home is worth $1 million, your property taxes might be somewhere near $10,000 a year. If you were to put that same home in Cherokee County and you were over 62, it would be much closer to $2,500 a year, which is a huge difference. Let me know in the comments, is Milton something you're interested in? Is it worth the hype? Is it worth the price tag? Give me a call if you want to check it out for yourself. I'll see you in the next one.